We thank God that He has given us life. It's a Thursday. I love Thursdays.
Are you ready for June?
Yes, I am. I'm ready for June. It's just 3 days away, isn't it?
Just 3 days.
Anyway, so we definitely will be ready for June. Once we are willing to continue living, we must be ready for the months that come up. So let's get into the paper, starting off with a daily graphic that says voter registration begins June. So talking about being ready for June, 33,367 centers for the exercise. Clearing agent charged for 16.4 million tax evasion. And down here, this daily graphic today, and Parliament divided over results of COVID-19 test. Back page. Reward for 3 young farmers, and FDA destroys COA FS record from market.
Well, I have with me the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and on the front page we have our angel, Reverend Obinim, and this says, court throws out Bishop Obinim, orders him to pay 1.6 million Ghana cedis to the state. We'll talk about that later.
Sure.
We also have EC to compile new voters register last week in June, and also clearing agent 44 in court for duping state of 16.4 million. But interestingly, on the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the front page, we have a gentleman. It comes in 3 different forms, showing us how to wear your nose mask. Winston, always you see people pulling it down to their chin and chewing something. You're pulling it, you're covering your nose properly. We all do this sometimes. And I'm just learning that these are wrong. So maybe you should grab the newspaper and check it out for yourself.
Talking about the nose mask, I like the health minister's advice that if you wear it, can you drink
alcohol?
Can you drink beer when you wear it? So God doesn't want us to drink beer. You don't love how the health minister speaks. But let's get to Proverbs 12 verse 22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. The Chronicle.
Charlie, what is going on?
The Chronicle is the spear of the nation.
Is that ahead of the June day? By June day?
No. June day. So it says COVID-19 test. Muntaka blows cover of Parliament. So that explains why they put out that scripture. And Nigerian offers 5,000 bribe to enter Ghana. I will be guided by my conscience, Kolendi, and Ghana Gas punches holes in ASEP's analysis. Back page says Premier League clubs agree to resume contact training this football season. And Barcelona cash in on COVID-19 by selling face masks ahead of La Liga's return next month. And trophy win at Anfield without fans would be strange.
You never walk alone.
Are you a Liverpool fan?
Absolutely, I am.
When I see young people like you supporting Liverpool,
no, don't ask me that question.
I ask the simple question.
Don't.
When you were growing up, what football were you following?
It's coming home. This year, it's coming home.
It should come. How I pray the league is cancelled.
Oh, if it's cancelled, it's still going to come home, right? It's coming back.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I have with me the Daily Guide newspaper, and on the front page it says, voters register. NDC position outrageous, and this is coming from Madam Gloria Akufo, and then give Woyome property state. That's according to Security Minister. It comes to the photograph of Alfred Agbeshi. Is it Agbesi or Agbeshi?
Depends on where you're coming from in the voter region.
Agbesi. Alfred Agbesi Woyome. Also, voters register set for June. And at the back page, we have Balotelli faces sack after missing 10 days training. Oh boy, this guy's going through a lot.
Balotelli, I love that guy. Business Finder says 145% hike in air freight charges. Vegetable fruit exporters in limbo. And banks revise loan budget downwards. So that's on the front page of the Business Finder.
My final newspaper is the Daily Statesman. It comes with a photograph of Madame Jeanne Mensah, and it says all is set for the new voters register. EC to use 40 days for fresh voters registration exercise, and also Akufo-Addo has shown consistency in managing the economy.
The New Crusading Guide says EC sets June for registration. COA FS manufacturer sets record straight, explains the product does not cure COVID-19, and CID petitioned over fraudulent sale of BVL properties. Kufuria Buabuchi fights MCE over boundary demarcation, all on the front page of the New Crusading Guide. Well, let's see what's trending online, and our online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest. Goyle, good energy. And Goyle says to all our valued customers, Goyle values our relationship built over the years, So let's keep ourselves free of the coronavirus disease and keep our stations safe by observing the following. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough and dispose of the tissue immediately. 2. Wash your hands with soap and running water, which have been provided at all our service stations, especially when you handle money. You can also use an alcohol-based sanitizer if you're not in a position to wash your hands, and maintain a minimum distance of 1.5 meters with other customers and or attendants. Let's observe these simple protocols and together defeat COVID-19 virus. If you experience any symptoms, do not head to the hospital immediately. Call the hotlines and ask for help on COVID-19 hotlines 055 2222 004 or 055 2222 005. And straight to my joyonline.com. Majority Leader calls for MPs S. Gracia to be reviewed. Illegal mining KNUST scientists discover high mercury concentrates in soil and water bodies. And AFCON 2002, I didn't break camp rules. Sami Kufuor reveals reason why he was sacked. Okay, let's get to citynewsroom.com. TECWA challenges Ghana's debt figures published by the Bank of Ghana, and Atuguba threatens to sue government if public university bills is passed. The BBC says coronavirus death in U.S. top 100,000. It says that the U.S. has passed 100,000 deaths in a coronavirus outbreak in less than 4 months, and it has seen more fatalities than any other country, while its 1.69 million confirmed infections account for about a third of the world's total. Anyway, let's get into the details, and starting off with the daily graphic, because it talks about a story that has got many of us talking, and we'll also be discussing that this morning on the Super Morning Show, the compilation of a new voters register, and we're asking that question, whether you are prepared to go to the registration center to register when the Electoral Commission commences registration. But it says that the Electoral Commission, has finally announced that the mass voter registration exercise will start from the last week of June and end in the last week of July this year. Originally scheduled for April to May this year, the EC, the exercise, which had been brought down with accusations and counter-accusations from the political parties, was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But yesterday, the EC, told the political parties, that was boycotted by the NDC, but they say that
the time communication was wrong.
Lots of issues. We'll get all the answers to these things, these issues this morning. But the EC has made a case that this is how they are going to go about it. They'll put polling centers in a cluster of 5, okay, and they will spend 6 days in each polling center, and then after those 6 days, the EC then would use 1 day, more like a rest period, retool and go to the next polling station. And so when they are done, that would be 34 days. After the 34 days, they will use a day to retool and then engage in a mop-up exercise to ensure that everybody is giving the chance to register. Of course, there's been lots of issues about, the usage of the Ghana passports and the Ghana card. The NDC thinks that that is not the way to go, but the EC is convinced.
And I am actually worried. I don't know whether the 40 days you're talking about is going to be enough, because you remember in 2012 when we had the other registration exercise, it also took 40 days.
Yes.
But let's also take into contact that the population has also increased. Yes, people have died, but we also have new people coming on board. And this time you're supposed to observe social distancing. And so, listen, if you're going to have if previously we had about 20 people queuing in a queue, taking a queue at a time, this time around it's going to be 10 or 5 because of, the protocols that we are putting in place. And so I'm just concerned whether this 40 days really would be enough to register all of us.
Well, your concerns are valid. We'll get answers whether the 40 days would be enough to have all of us registering.
Well, I have with me the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and this says the court throws out Bishop Obinim and orders him to pay 1.6 million to the state. In fact, this case is actually different from the one we talked about just a week ago, and this has to do with his tax that he didn't pay to the Ghana Revenue Authority. And guess what? This case has traveled for about 2 years. It started in 2018, but he's asking that the court, dismisses the case being thrown by the Ghana Revenue Authority because it says that he had paid all his tax obligations, but the GRA insists that that is not true, and the court has finally ruled. It has thrown out the case and ordered him to pay some 1.6 million back to the state.
Well, interesting. But talking about payments and talking about those who owe the state lots of money, let's get to page 44 of the Daily Graphic. And clearing agent charged for 16.4 million tax evasion, and the Ghana Revenue Authorities charged a freight forwarder whose company allegedly suppressed customs duties to the tune of 16,396,000 between 2014 and 2019 to stand trial at the Criminal Division of the High Court in Accra. Okay.
Well, I also have with me reopen schools gradually. That's coming from Child Rights International. Mr. Brightapia has called on government to move slowly in its decision to reopen schools on mass level. This has been an issue that stakeholders have been speaking, parents have been talking and asking that the government takes its time. Yesterday I had a call from my dad and asking me whether school is going to be reopening, but he had his own concerns. He works in a private school. My siblings are also at home, and they're all wondering whether this should be done, and it's a matter of concern to all of us. But Winston, do you think it should be open?
I don't know.
Well, wait to hear from the president.
The discussions are ongoing, and I'm sure that by Sunday latest, the president would address all of us. So once he addresses us, we'll know whether or not schools are going to be open. But we've been talking about the EC's decision to compile a new voters register. So now we know that the date is set. We're told that in the first week of June there will be a pilot. In the last week of June there will be the commencement of the exercise. This morning, what I want us to do right now is to activate the phone lines and get our listeners, tell us whether or not they are willing. Will they be willing to go out there to register when the Electoral Commission, starts the voters registration exercise from the last week in June? Give us a call now. I mean, in the midst of COVID-19, the EC says it has put in place all the measures. Are you convinced? The 1 meter distance, the fact that the EC says if you don't wear a nose mask, you would not be allowed into any of the centers, and also that after one person is done with, they will sanitize or disinfect all the equipments. Give us a call now on 0302 216 541 0302 216 541 and then 0244 340 437. Tell us, would you be willing to go and register when the compilation of the new voters register starts finally on during the last week of June 2020? I wouldn't ask you that question, or you want to answer?
Well, I do not want to be in your position.
I wouldn't ask you that question. So the phone lines have been activated on 0302 216 541 0302 216 541 and then 0244 340 437 0244 340 437. So the Electoral Commission says it will start the compilation of a new voters register during the last week in June and is expecting the exercise to be done by the end of July 2020. Are you willing to go out there and register? Let's head straight to Takrady. We've been joined by Nicholas. Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning.
Yes, Nicholas, go ahead. Are you willing to go and register?
Not at all. I don't know why not at all.
Why?
Why EC still wants to compare this voters register? We are not ready to go. Whatever that they want to achieve, I think this is not the right time for it.
All right. Thank you very much, Nicholas. You can also join us on 0302 216 541. Good morning, Owusu.
Good morning, Wilson. How are you?
I am fine, Owusu. How about you?
I'm very
great. Go ahead.
I'm to register.
Owusu, your line is a bit bad. If you could kindly reposition yourself so we can hear you.
Okay, sir. I'm saying that I am going to register because when you look at the situations at the market compared to the rules and regulations laid down by the EC, I am very safe to go and register. I will come back alive and go and vote. Comes December 7th. There are no fears. There is no fear for me to go and register. I am prepared to go and register. I don't want to be disenfranchised because even the conditions at the market, when you go to the market as if nothing is happening in the country, there is no disease in the country, much more when measures have been put in place peacefully and comfortably for me to go and register. So I will go and register and vote.
All right, thank you very much. So let's head straight to Savelugu where Fuseni is. Fuseni, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Fuseni.
Yes.
Are you willing? Go ahead.
I'm willing to go to and register if there is disturbance at the registration center. Because this is not the first time to compile a new register.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Fuseni, for joining us. Chidiak in Southland, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Chidiak, go ahead.
If I hear it right, on BBC, it's like when this sickness affects you, you get kidney problem, clots of blood gets into your kidney, and your kidney refuses to function properly. This is a dangerous disease. Let's tread cautiously. Thank you.
Okay, but so Chidiak, would you be willing to go and register?
I'm scared because my life lies in my own hands. If I die, I'll die alone.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chidiak, for joining us. Victor in Kumasi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Victor, go ahead.
Seriously speaking, I will not go and queue to register. Aside that, people are going to travel across the country. Are there plans for government to sponsor those traveling, or we are going to use our own money? Imagine I'm coming from up north. I have to take a car there. Is the government going to pay for my transport in and out? Look at the risk involved. Brother, I will not do it.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. From Kumasi, we go straight to Bolga. Raymond, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yes, Raymond, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to find out whether I will go out and register. Yes. I will go out and register, and I encourage people to go out and register.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any reason why I shouldn't go and register, because the market centers are so choked, yet we go to the market to shop. When you go to the voting center, there are measures put in place for everybody to protect himself or herself so that you are not affected by the sickness. So anybody who is saying he wouldn't go and register is just being mischievous because they are talking to the NDC slogan.
Thank you very much for joining us. Let's get to Asante Bekwai. Ishak, good morning. Hello, Ishak. Hello, Ishak. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning, Ishak. Ishak, if you could kindly reposition yourself, I think there's a problem with your line, or maybe you would have to try and get back to us, Ishak, so you could tell us whether or not you are willing to go out there and register. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Apostle Do.
Apostle Do, go ahead. Yes.
I'm calling from Dawenya.
Okay.
My brother, since this kind of virus came, I wanted to speak. I am a servant of God, not those kind of people that are saying they have been chosen, they have been called. So, what am I saying? The sickness that comes is not a sickness, but it's a demonic attack on mankind.
So, Apostle Do, would you be willing to go out there and register if,
I am willing to go out there to register, because what I'm talking to you right now, one of our brother in Dubai was hospital that he has having the coronavirus. I pray with him, the guy has healing as I'm talking to you right now. So,
okay, thank you very much, Apostle Do. Desmond Tutu from Kumasi. Good morning, Desmond Tutu.
Yeah, good morning, Vincent.
Yes, Desmond, go ahead.
Yeah, Vincent, I think that my basic question that I want to ask is that those who are saying they will not go and register during December 7th, when we're going to vote, are they willing to go and vote? Because the same procedure or the protocol that will be put in place for the registration is the same procedure that will be put in place for us to go and vote. And this universal adult suffrage that we are enjoying, these politicians, they call us to the table only once. So for me, once the protocols are there, once the banks are even now, people go to the banks, you see people there, even schools, we are contemplating opening schools and all of those things. I think there is every cause for me to go and register. And
thank you very much. Final caller for the segment, Solomon from Tamale. Good morning. Hello, Solomon. Good morning. Okay, I think we can't get you. We have PK on the line. PK, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, PK, go ahead. Your final caller for the segment. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to go out and register.
Okay.
Because even in the midst of this chaos and all the confusion, kind of see what is happening. Today they are only closing the market sector, but we are still down, traveling up and down like others have been doing. So we'll go out and register. We'll keep ourselves safe. We said that the virus is going to live with us, so we have to try and live with it. So we'll protect ourselves and go out and register. I will do so.
Thank you very much for joining us, and thanks to all of you, who called this morning, telling us whether or not you're going to vote. We'll continue the conversation, later on the show. But it's time for the BBC News. It's brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Shell Club Get More. Together, let's keep smiling. This month, we're offering free cards and delivery for our first 500 requests. Order one now. It's simple. Just dial 335. Bank conveniently. Stay home and stay safe. Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us. Terms and conditions apply. The BBC News is up next after these